Am I live right now? I hope so. I don't see anything. Okay, cool. Hello, hello, everybody. Valerie Lewis right here coming to you live from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And today we're going to talk about how to pay off your student loans when your degree won't. Hello, somebody. Okay, so today, this really made me think because here I am living a life that most people would not consider traditional or conventional. It's not the norm, you know. With me and my family, we get to pick our own hours. We do not wake up to alarm clocks. We do what we want when we want. I've got two teenagers. Both were homeschooled. My daughter is done. She was done with high school 2 years early. My son is just now starting high school. He'll be done next year. Okay, so I'll do more on that in in another video. But with that being said, having these two teenagers, and I also look around at people in my generation and people in between me and the kids, right? So you're looking at, like, I guess they would be Generation Yers because I'm a Generation X, and my kids would be considered millennials. So I'm just kind of looking at, my generation and beyond and trying to figure out where's the disconnect here, because I'm looking around and I see so many hardworking young people, right? And I know you guys get some slack sometimes. Like, people say, oh, well, the younger generation's lazy. That's why they're not able to do this or do that or live their dream. And I don't agree with that at all. I see tons of hardworking people of all ages all over the place. And yeah, they're working hard, but so many people are still living from paycheck to paycheck. So here's something that I realized for even myself, which has caused me to now come out here and have, victory with Valerie. And that's one of the reasons why I like to educate, enlighten, and empower people, is because I realized this is the true secret. If you ever go up to someone who makes multiple six figures or more, seven figures, eight figures, nine figures, right? 10 figures, whatever. Okay. You go up to somebody that makes multiple six or more and you ask them what is the secret, they will tell you this. Okay. You need to work smarter, not harder. That's what they do. Now, I want you to think about this. When you're talking about people like Oprah Winfrey or people like Richard Branson, Bill Gates, when you're looking at these people, you're seeing they bring in massive amounts of income. But they don't do it the way that we try to bring in income. They don't have to physically be there clocking in, clocking out, right? Instead, what they do is they have systems in place. They've got people in place where the work is getting done, but it doesn't always have to be by them. They're not a one-man band. And this is something that we kind of have to break out of, okay? So I'm going to put that to you right now. If you plan on watching, this entire video, which obviously I recommend you do, I want you to suspend your disbelief and kind of set aside some of the things that you've probably been told your whole life about what it takes to make money and live your dream. Okay, because that's why you're in the mess that you're in the first place, and you came across this video. I mean, seriously. Um, but the whole idea of, work hard, hard, hard. Okay, well, the majority of people are working hard. So obviously that's not the secret. It's working smarter. And by working smarter, you'll start doing things like being more financially educated. You will start doing things like investing, like starting a business, because your business will help you to have a system in place to help you bring in money residually, passively. And that is what rich people do. They bring in passive income where they put in the work once, maybe twice, and then they're done and the money keeps rolling in. There's nothing wrong with that. If you look at a singer, right? You look at Beyonce, she's still making money today from the songs that she created with Destiny's Child. People are still buying that music, right? That was over 20 years ago, but people are still buying the music. So she's still making the royalties, right? You've got shows that came on back in the 50s, right? You talk about Alfred Hitchcock, right? Alfred Hitchcock, which I love to watch every night on Hulu, okay? That is, the people who own the rights to Alfred Hitchcock now are continuing to get paid, even though those shows were produced, directed, recorded, 60 some years ago. Hello. That's the key. This is what helps keep the rich people rich. And unfortunately, people who only want to focus on hard work and I got to do it all myself, you dig a hole for yourself that you can't get out of. One of the worst types of debt that you could get yourself into is student loan debt. But people don't tell you that. This is actually what you grow up focusing on. You grow up hearing people tell you, work hard, the exact opposite of what it's going to take for you to live your dream, right? Go work hard, work hard, work hard. And don't get me wrong, working smart does require a certain amount of effort where you do have to be diligent, you know. But all of this, I need to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, I need to get 3 degrees. No, you don't. No, you don't. And if you're starting to see by now that going out there and getting your degree has not helped you create the life that you want, the way that people have been telling you it's supposed to do, right? People tell you, oh, go. And I even saw this with like my own family members. They went off to college and they didn't have a whole lot of student loan debt because they got a lot of scholarships. So it drastically reduced that. But they would go graduate with honors from fantastic schools, have their degree, look for a job. Hard to get that job because everybody else is also going and getting a higher education. So everybody else also has a degree. So now it's like the things that used to help you stand out 30, 40, 50 years ago don't help so much anymore because now everybody's doing it. You see what I mean? So it's more difficult in the job force, and that's probably something that you're noticing as well, you know? So when it comes to that, what can you do? Because for a lot of people, it's too late. You've already gotten yourself into all that debt with all these loans. Most people don't even know how they're going to be able to pay the loans back. You know, they don't realize it's going to take them 20 to 30 years or more. Sometimes it takes people their whole lives to pay back all of that debt because of all the interest and then inflation, and you know, you didn't save anything, you ain't got nothing, you know. Or you thought you were going to get this amazing paying job and you realized even with the amazing pay you're still living from paycheck to paycheck. And in this area, in the suburbs of Washington DC, that happens a lot. You know, I live near one of the biggest cities around, one of the most popular cities. A lot of people come here. They're working, you know, in politics. They work for the government and things like that. And they're thinking once they hit this certain G level, oh, I'm in. Yeah. Nope. It's so much that they're putting in and they're barely getting anything back out. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today. Okay. So when it comes to that, I want you to check out this survey. Okay, so this is from Charles Schwab, all right, and this was a survey that was done this year about what does wealth mean to the average American, okay, and you'll see that you have the top 3 right here. So in third place is having loving relationships with friends and family. That right there is wealth to so many people, and I agree with that, okay. Then you've got second place, being able to afford the things that you want. Right? When you have the things you want, you feel good, you feel confident, you know, you're going out there and you're just enjoying yourself more because you have something that you really wanted. So that's great. And then in first place is living stress-free. Right? Now, it is really difficult to live stress-free when you're trying to figure out how am I going to pay off these loans? It's especially when that's not the only loan you have. So you got the student loan debt. If you've got a mortgage, you got to pay that. You may have a car or 2 or 3. You're paying on that. You're paying insurance. You're paying for, you know, all your monthly expenses, the water, the electricity, clothes, shoes, food, like it's so much, right? And then on top of that, you want to be able to have these other 2 things. You want to be able to afford, you know, going out to eat or going to the movies or going to an amusement park. You want to be able to have the time available to spend with your friends and family. But it's hard to do that if you've got to spend so much time at work to make the money to pay the bills that you don't have the time to spend with the family. Especially if you're working 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours a week, and you're still not getting paid what you should be getting paid for somebody that worked so hard to get that degree that you have. Right? So, here's something that I realized. Right around, sorry, you guys, right around 18, 19, I thought to myself, what is a way that I could get myself in a position where I'd have some financial freedom, without having to start off so far behind the starting line. And by that, I mean putting myself in debt at the beginning of my life. You're 18, you're 19, 20, and you finally went through all those years of primary and secondary school, and now it's like, yes, I'm an adult now, I'm free. What can I do? And everybody's pushing you into college. Go get into college. You need college. Now, I agree that you need an education, but you don't necessarily need college. In my opinion, this is my humble opinion, college was not for me. It's not for everybody. And although I had college credits by the time I graduated high school, I could have finished college in 2 years instead of four. There were scholarships available for me, all these great things. Even though I had those, I said no because I did not want to put myself in a position where I was starting off so far behind. I wanted to get out here and start living life now. Some people may call that selfish. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But I feel like I want to live my life to the absolute fullest. And it's very difficult to do that if you're under a ton of stress. Because then that stress, especially when you've got stress from trying to make ends meet, that stress, all these leading causes of sicknesses and diseases come from stress. You know what I'm saying? So it's so difficult. So what I decided to do was I wanted to get in the cosmetology field. And I had friends and family tell me I was crazy because look, you got an opportunity here. Had I gone to college, I would be an actuary, which is great pay, but you've got hours away. You don't get a lot of time to really fully live. As far as I know, maybe there's an actuary out there. Tell me something else. But I wanted to be able to have a little bit more freedom when it came to my time. And whenever you have a job, you never get to decide on your time. You're always building your life around your job, right? Oh, I can't go to the movies this weekend because the job called me in this weekend. I can't go on vacation in April when I'd like to because my vacation time isn't until June. It's things like that. Or the kids don't get out of school till June. And so for me, not only did I make a decision, eventually I made a decision to work from home, but I'll get to that in a sec, as well as homeschool my kids. And so at this point in my life, I have that full freedom, both time wise and financially. But I'll get to that. So yeah, I made a decision, go to cosmetology school. I was done in a fraction of the time it takes most people. I finished in 7 months when the fastest most people get done is typically 18 months. Sometimes it takes people 36 months or more. But for me, 7 months. I was in, I was out. So I started working, and yes, I was making good money, but once again, I realized something. I'll show you guys this. You guys may recognize this cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki talks about. You've probably seen this in a few of my other videos. So I just wanted to bring this up again. Okay, so you've got your linear income versus your passive income, your residual income. And so many of us are on this blue side, right? We're on the blue side. We're all told to go get a job, get a real job. Don't try to start a business. Go get a job. Businesses fail. Well, guess what? How is life working right now? Sounds like life is failing. When you go to school and you're taking these subjects that have nothing to do with your major because it's required. And so, waste of time, right? You're spending 4 years, I don't know, maybe like a year out of those 4 years is based on a bunch of crap that you don't really need to know for your job anyway, right? To get your degree because they said so, right? And then you got to pay for it on top of that. What? Scam, right? I just didn't see it. And I know there's some people that are they are all for college. Yes, you need to go. Okay, fine. But notice that not only over these past 2 to 3 decades, not only has it been encouraged more for people to go to college, but in addition to that, the rates go up too. The tuition escalates as well. Why? Because now that they're getting more people to go to college, why not amp it up a little bit and make more money off of it? right? Supply and demand type of deal. So I'm just like, it's not worth it to me. I don't see the value in spending, you know, investing so much time into this when I'm not going to get what I'm promised. And what you get promised is that dream that, oh my gosh, once you go and get your education from college, um, the world is your oyster. You know, you'll graduate from college and then you can go out here and get yourself a job. And when you get that job, you'll get a good paying job. And when you have the good paying job, OMG, like you can live the life of your dreams and you can buy a house and a car and get married and start a family and you've got 2.3 kids and a dog. It's awesome. No, no. Look around. Okay, look around today. You will see so many people that you know and love. You know they're hard workers, you know they're dedicated workers, and yet they just are not living that dream they were promised. They don't have that high paying job they promised. Even as an actuary, you could start making multiple six figures in that job, but when you get started, the starting salary is $55,000 on average. Now, for a lot of people, they're like 55,000 starting. That's great, but not really when you look at the grand scheme of things as to like getting to the point that you finally do start making the 200,000, the 280,000 a year. Um, it's just like all of that. I have to put in all of that. Plus, you know, you're putting in so much money in the tuition, in the loans, right? Into paying back the loans. So this is why it takes people so much time to pay them off. So I just didn't want to be in that boat. And going to cosmetology school was a much lower tuition for me anyway. And they taught me exactly what I needed to know to do what I needed to do. At the end, I'm done. Thank you. Okay. There weren't any, you know, these required courses that I had to go through first. So anyway, you know, you get told these things and then you finally go out and people, more and more college graduates are finding that, you know, you go look for the job going out there saying, I got a degree. Yeah, I'm putting that on. Okay. And it's like, all right, that's nice. But so do like all these other 200 applicants. That's all on their resume too, that they're college graduates. Whoop-de-doo, you know? So it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? So then at some point, finally, you get that job and you're in entry level. You're in an entry level position. Um, and granted, a college graduate's entry level should be, I hope it still is, a little bit more than what it would be if you didn't have the college degree, right? But it's still not enough to pay those loans back off swiftly. They really want you to spread this out like 20, 30 years like it's a mortgage. Um, no, no, I did not want that. And maybe you don't want that either. And maybe, you know, you went into that and you didn't realize it at the time, but now you do. And you're like, what can I do to hurry up and get these loans paid off? So this is another reason why I wanted to show you the cash flow quadrant. In order for you to pay off the loans, you're going to need to have more cash flow coming in. And another thing that we've been conditioned to believe all these years growing up, believing in this system of, you know, the only way to have success in life is to go to college and get a degree, which is not true, is the fact that when people tell you that, you think you should just have that one job that pays a lot of income. So that you just have that one stream of income. Huge mistake. That is the biggest mistake you can ever make. And unfortunately, this is the majority of people. 97% of people out here do not have an additional stream of income. And they depend so much on their job that this is why the rug gets pulled from beneath them when they get laid off. Again, you got to work smarter, not harder. So when you go into that job every single day, yeah, you should put in your best work and all that great stuff. But also remember, you have absolutely no control over what happens to that business. That business could fail. That business could merge and then they start letting go and laying off a bunch of people. You know, don't don't feel like you need them, right? Don't feel like you need them. You should start feeling like they need you until they don't. Because that day will come that they don't need you anymore, no matter how valuable your position is. Even CEOs get laid off, right? So instead, you really want to start looking at how can I increase my income, not by getting another job, but by bringing in more streams of income and diversifying your income. What else could you do? Because once you do that and the money's flowing in, great, you can pay off those loans. You don't have to worry about it. And you finally will be freed up with that time that you've been looking for to be able to do the things that you want. So when it comes to having the job, I want you to notice having a job means that you are trading in your time for your money. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I make $20 an hour. I earn $50 an hour. And the way I see it, I'm sorry if this hurts people's feelings, but the way I see it is I sell an hour of my life for only 25 bucks, for only 50 bucks. I don't want to get paid that way. I don't want to get paid for me to have to spend time out of my life that I'll never get back just for that measly amount of money that doesn't even help me pay all my bills off. It doesn't even allow me to create a nest egg or a future or even a legacy for my children. No, no, I don't want that. Okay? And there's no leverage there because there's only a certain amount of time. There's only so much time in a day or in a week that you can work. And even if you work 24 hours a day, for a lot of people, what they make right now, it still would not be enough. So why would you even want to work that hard? Work smart. So here's where I thought I was working smart. As a hairstylist, I was self-employed, right? So I was like, I don't have a job, okay? I am self-employed. I do what I want when I want. That wasn't even true. And those of you that know, maybe you're in the cosmetology industry, you know, like you might be able to set your own hours in the shop, but once you're there, you're there. And like sometimes you'll have clients call you up and they're like, oh my gosh, please, can you fit me in? I need to be. And you've got to make sure that you are servicing the clients properly. If they're not happy, they can get their refund. You know, it's things like that. So you really aren't, it's not all about you. You're serving people. You are there to serve. Okay, that's one thing you got to remember. But another thing I realized was I basically owned a job. Because again, I was trading in time for money, right? I would charge a certain amount for a service because of the fact that I knew how much time it would take me to do it, and I wanted to make sure I made a certain amount of money from that, right? So again, there's no leverage there. Another thing is, if even if I was at work all day long, if there was nobody in my chair, I made zero income. There's no leverage with that. So I had to start thinking about how can I start bringing in passive income? What am I missing? Because I was as a hairstylist thinking I was a business owner, and I was not. I was simply self-employed where I owned my own job. So instead of me waiting for somebody to give me one, I just created my own. But that really wasn't the freedom I was looking for. And I found that I was spending so much time away from my kids as they were growing up, and that was the exact opposite of what I was trying to do. So when it comes to the passive income, that's when somebody introduced to me the world of online business, because you do get so much leverage from that. Now, granted, the things that they shared with me and the things that I know now, I realized I could have applied it to my hairstyling, my salon business, but I made a choice. I did not want to be limited to being local. I wanted to turn my business into something global. So I walked away and basically retired from being a hairstylist. So I still have my active license as a senior cosmetologist, so I can still teach, I can still travel and educate and do platform artistry. I can still do all those things. But what I focused on more heavily was how can I inspire, encourage, enlighten other people to create the wealth that they want. And just like what we were talking about before, those three things that people want. They want more time with their friends and their family. They want to be able to afford the things that they desire. And they want to live stress-free. And one of the major causes of stress, especially in this country, is money. Money. People living from paycheck to paycheck. People not making those ends meet. People robbing Peter to pay Paul. So, what if you could free yourself from all of that struggle? Okay, so that's what having passive income helps you to do. So, I want you to look over here on the green side, and I decided to make a shift from being self employed to being a true business owner where I had a system in place and people are going to work even when I'm not. Okay, so I was no longer a one man band where everything depended all on me, and now I had a team of people, I had a system put together for me. So by starting using a system, and it was way less than I ever thought it would be. It took me thousands of dollars to get started with my own salon. But with starting a business online, way less overhead, and oh my gosh, it was only, let's see, I got started with my first business for $99 plus tax. And then with all the tools and everything that I needed to help me out, um, less than $2,000 for the year. Okay, so like it's not as much as people think that it is. Another great benefit is the fact that you get to write all of this stuff off. Write it off. The self-employed and the employed get taxed so much, but business owners and investors barely get taxed anything because there are so many breaks and loopholes for them. Take advantage of it while it's available to you. Okay, so yeah, with having that passive income, now that you've got a system doing all the grunt work that you don't like to do, don't want to do, right? You don't have to do those things. You can outsource it now, or the system will take over for you. You have people in place where you're all working together. So that's always great as well. So, for example, if you started, let's say, a McDonald's franchise, you plug people into your system. So you'd hire employees, the employees do the work, and you're making the money as well as them making the money, right? Um, the same thing if you started a Walmart, right? You're going to make money, the employees make the money, you just plug them in, you train them there, and you're done, and you don't have to physically be there anymore. Same thing with a hairstylist. I could have started a salon where I strictly rented out booth space, and I would not have to physically be there, and I would just plug people into that. I could pay for the advertising, or the stylists themselves could pay for the advertising to get customers in, and I would simply, rent out the space to those stylists. I get paid, they're getting paid, everybody getting paid, boom, system. Okay. That's the beauty of being a true business owner. And then you could go even further, become an investor, go into that final quadrant, and take the money that you're earning and allow that money to make money for you by investing it into various things. I hear real estate is excellent. I'm starting to learn a little bit about that. But you can invest back into your business. You can invest into some other businesses. You can invest in real estate. You can, like, so many different things that you can do with it. So that's always great too. But being on this side, it's not as hard as people think it is. And no, it's not just for a select few. No, I don't want you to believe that. Okay. And all this talk about, I just want to fit in, I just want to be, quote, normal. I'm so happy I'm not normal. I've never felt normal. Okay. And what I mean by that is I just never felt like I needed to be like everybody else. I've always felt like there's something unique about me. There's something that stands out, and there's something that's of value that I should actually embrace and showcase to the world. I've always felt that way. I've never felt like I'm supposed to be like everybody else. And that doesn't make me any better or worse than the next person. It's just that we're all different for a reason, and we should celebrate that and embrace that. So there's no reason why you can't tap into your individuality and allow that to shine through in whatever you decide to do to produce income, including starting your business. So what I like about the online business space, right, and working from the internet is the fact that that's all it takes for you to start making money. You need to first be yourself and then have the right skill sets. It's very simple. So you could get started with things like network marketing, or affiliate marketing is actually my favorite, because with network marketing it's a little bit more difficult, and again, I just sometimes those commission structures don't make that much sense to me, like $20 a person. No. But with affiliate marketing, like a lot of the stuff is done for you. Products and services are done for you. I've got a system where I have my own sales team available 24/7 to do all the sales for me. So I bring in the commissions on autopilot. I bring it in while I'm at Six Flags with the kids. I bring it in when I'm asleep. I bring it in while I'm doing something else or working on another business that I own. So it's really great to be able to do that. So I love affiliate marketing because all you're doing is just pointing people in the direction to answer their needs, their challenges, their questions. So I like that. And then also with investing, any one of these four things takes risk. So it's funny to me when I hear people say, well, I'm not really a risk taker. I like to play it safe. No, you don't. You are not playing it safe if you only have one stream of income. That is one of the biggest risks you could ever have in your entire life. So if you are looking for a way to kind of break out of that, maybe you're realizing, oh my gosh, I need a way to get out of this mess that I made. Like, I love school, I love my degree, but all this debt that I'm in at this point, I wish I had known, right? That kind of thing. Well, it's okay. A lot of us didn't know. What you can do now is go ahead and start your own business from home. And if you don't know what you're going to offer, right? You don't have your own products, you don't have certain services or skills that you can share with people online, that is okay. Okay, because there are systems in place, there are businesses out there that will provide those things for you. But more important than anything else, you definitely want to have the right skills when you get out here online. You don't want to be like those people who just go around spamming everybody, talking about buy my stuff. That's definitely not professional. I do not condone that at all. You want to treat your business with professionalism and get out there and offer what you have to the right people at the right time, deliver the right message to the right folks, that kind of thing. And it takes a small level of skill to make that happen. So if you're wondering what that is, I've got great news for you. Okay. I do have, um, hold on, I do have a master class coming up this coming Tuesday. I'm putting the finishing touches on it now, and then later today, I'm going to uh, I'm going to announce the registration link so that you'll be able to register for this now to make sure that you have your spot secure. Okay, and but in the meantime, here's what I'm going to offer for you today. For those of you that are like, yeah, this makes sense to me. I can see how, I can start bringing in more income without it taking away from what I'm currently doing. But I just don't know how to get started. I am going to offer you a free coaching session. Okay, I call them my victory sessions, where I will sit down with you for up to an hour session and just kind of discuss with you, find out a little bit more about where you are right now in life, what you're looking to do, what some of your goals are, where you're having the problem of whether it's the debt, or maybe you're in a job you don't like, or you just don't know how to get started, what to do. We'll talk about all of those things. And typically when I have these victory sessions, I charge $397 for them. However, it's going to be 100% free. All you have to do is let me know that you saw me on YouTube. That's it. Let me know you saw me on YouTube, and you will get your session for free. And we'll schedule it, and I'll sit down with you and we'll discuss everything. I'll show you exactly how to get started. So for those of you that have never done this before, I got your back. For those of you that are on a shoestring budget, I've got your back. For those of you that are working a full-time job, I've got your back. For those of you that are single parents, I've got your back. For those of you that are baby boomers, I've got your back. For those of you that are millennials, I got your back too. Okay? And everybody in between, no matter what, whether you've already started a business, you had never started a business, whatever the case may be, let's talk first, and we'll see if this is a good fit for you before you have to think about investing any money into anything. Because I definitely don't want you to get caught in a trap where you feel scammed because you didn't know any better, just like you may be feeling right now with those student loan debts, right? So, yeah, all you'll need to do is look below in the description box, and there will be a link there all about how you can get your free victory session with me, as well as a few other cool things in the description box, including how you can connect with me all over the internet. Okay, so thank you so very much for tuning in today. It's been a blast. I'm on a little bit longer than I planned, but that happens and that's okay, as long as you've gotten everything that you need. And listen, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you put them there in the chat. Be respectful, of course. If you don't agree with me, just stop watching the video, go somewhere else. But for those of you that have the questions, I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to just help to enlighten people, educate them, and just really empower you on how you can live the life of your dreams. It's totally possible. I'm doing it. You know, I don't have to get up and go to a 9 to 5. I get to enjoy my family. We're all home together at any time of the day. We can get up, go out. We can go to the amusement park. We can go out to lunch. We can even travel. You know, if I want to go visit my dad in North Carolina, I can hop in a car like right now and go if I wanted to. Road trip, okay? So that is always great. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go and make sure that you fill out your victory survey so that you can get started with a session with me. And like I said, later on today, I will let everyone know when that upcoming masterclass is so that you will know exactly how to get started with bringing in additional income on the internet, right? Times, they are a changing. Just like we went from ice boxes to refrigerators, just like we have radio, and then it was TV, and then it was VHS, and then it was DVDs and Blu-ray. You know, things continue to evolve, and that is also, it also includes how you make money, how you're making money. That traditional go to college, get a degree, get a job is not necessarily the best thing for everyone. For some, yeah, but not for everybody. And maybe you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Pretty smart thing to do. There are ways for you to bring in additional streams of income, and you can do it right here online. So I can't wait. I can't wait to start connecting with more people so we can talk about that. All right. So this is definitely a way that you can finally pay off that student loan debt without, you know, even though your degree kind of let you down. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Oh, wait, I'm not gone. Hold on. Did I forget to share with you guys something? Oh no, I didn't forget. Okay, I didn't forget. I thought I left out something in my notes, but yeah, I'll be back on later. So this time I'm gone for real. Oh, that was one thing. I also have included in the description box, there is a link for you to get a free copy of a fantastic book called The Science of Getting Rich. And just like we talked about when it's all about, you know, what is wealth to you, this book will help you achieve all three of these things. Better relationships with your friends and family, being able to afford the things you want, and finally living stress-free. All of those things get discussed in the book. I even have my business builder book club where I discussed each and every chapter. That is also right here on YouTube. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that too. Okay, so this is my little postscript, my little PS. See you guys in the next video. Bye.